Okay. So welcome. Super excited. You guys obviously can feel the momentum. It is insane. These double promotions, I guess, or double incentives that we can get ourselves plus our team. They did some stats on the NMD call today of what it has been able to do, like in Colombia and Mexico. So they only did, oh, hold on. Let me mute some people out here. If you guys are, I'm getting a lot of background noise. That's why I say that. Let me mute. Yeah. Okay, cool. So they did Mexico and in Colombia, they only did the 2 for 2. So get 2 brand partners. And let me just see these sales. In Mexico, they had a 44% increase in sales. In Colombia, they had a 66% increase. For new BPs in Mexico, they had a 120% increase. And in Colombia, they had a 245% increase for just this one promotion. So what's so cool is that obviously we have 2 promotions that we can capitalize on. So I've been doing some different ideas that I want to share, and then also I want to share what we kind of learned in the leadership retreat. So with these 2 promotions, it's obviously all about recruiting. It's all about bringing those new brand partners in, getting that momentum going for your business. So it's trying to find out who can promote in our team. So today, I want you all to know that in all of Masters down, from me down, I went ahead and emailed all of the new brand partners that are in their 60-day window. So I emailed them all, just gave them a little blurb, just saying, hey, welcome to the team. You made the right decision, yada, yada. We do have a chance to, within your 60 days, you actually have a chance to earn $1,000 and more. If you're interested, let me know. So I got, I think 5 people automatically that wrote me back and said, I'm in. And so from there, what I did was I got on Facebook Messenger and I added, well, I got on Facebook and I added them, obviously, because I want to help them move in that direction. So if I see any Facebook post or anything like that, I'm obviously going to get comment and help support them. But what I did is I went into Facebook Messenger and I added them, their leader, or well, I guess them, their sponsor, and their upline. And I'm in that thread as well. So it's a Facebook Messenger thread. And what we're going to do is just kind of help guide them all together and all work together to get them that bonus that they want. So this is something that you can do as well. I mean, you can obviously find in your team who wants to get these promotions, and it can be either one, and kind of, rally together with the sponsor, rally together with the leader, and all work together to do it. What's awesome about this concept, and we actually even heard these similar concepts done with Stacy, I know does this, Stephanie Schooler does this, some other people do this. It helps people step up, even the sponsor. So it might not be the leader that's just doing all the work. And it kind of gets everyone to kind of rally together, and it teaches, sponsors really how to do things that they might not know how to do. So it's all in communication that way. So that is something that I've been doing. And I just want to let you guys know that I put that out on the 60-day window for people. So what we learned at the leadership retreat, which I thought was so simple, so I guess it just kind of rocked me because I was like, wow. I think it was Sam that was talking, and she said mapping out, well, no, it was Jen Givens that was talking about mapping, or Jen Elston that was talking about mapping out your legs, but mapping it out to find out how many directors you need to get to your next promotion. Okay, so it's literally just doing the math. How much are you behind from your next promotion? Dividing it out by 4,500. That's how many directors you're going to need, and finding out those new directors. Now, it could be new or it could be re-ranks. So that's something that you can also kind of identify in your report system. Go into like highest rank and current rank. Or last achieved rank, and you can actually pinpoint people that can re-rank up and run with those people. Those are the people that are going to obviously want that rank up and be able to get these extra bonuses. So that's just something that you can definitely pull yourself, go into your reports, see who you can help re-rank, see how many directors you need. I mean, I know that there was one gal that was at the retreat. She needs, 4 directors to hit NMD. I mean, it's like crazy when you put it out in those terms. You're like, oh my gosh. Or if you want to get to ED, I need 2 directors. That's it, and with this promotion, we can get those, and this is going to be a huge driver for you to get there. So, kind of laying that out. And then there was another thing that we got at the leadership retreat that I think is definitely huge. I'm going to be uploading this tomorrow in Masters, but pretty much it's a Class A prospect tracker. And some of you guys have heard of this, some of you haven't, but Sam Wyatt put it out, and it pretty much is going to identify everyone that you're personally working with that's in the window as classified as a Class A prospect. And what kind of the definition is for a Class A prospect is someone that's interested in the business. You guys have talked about it, and you've shared a tool within your 60 days. So that's kind of what you would classify as a Class A prospect. And then what you do is you go through the steps of following what kind of the next step is to get them to a yes or a no. And identifying these Class A prospects, not only for yourself, so you yourself can even get this, 2 for 2 promotion, but for all of your brand partners that you're running with. So after I put these people in a thread today, and I identified people that are running, and I put their uplines and their sponsors in it, then I'm attaching this flyer and I'm saying, okay, let's identify with how many Class A prospects you have. And then we all know, and we all can help them move this through the funnel so they can get those brand partners, they can rank up. And then it starts with those baby brand partners, or even senior brand partners and directors, everybody ranking up to get everybody ahead. So it's really, really an awesome thing that I think is going to be a tangible tool that we can all use to really funnel in how many Class A prospects our team has, which is huge. So I'm going to upload that tomorrow. And then earlier this month, I talked to Shallon. It was actually with Nikki when we did her little one-on-one call to get her to the leadership retreat. And she talked a lot about 3-way calls with experts. So this was something that I was already going to talk to you guys about, but I'm going to mention it here and talk to you guys in regards to 3-way calls and being an expert. So a lot of people either feel really confident with it, or they don't feel confident at all and they don't like to lead them. So what I was hoping, I actually wrote up a document, Word document. I actually uploaded it into our Masters SD and above file. This will be very, very helpful for you guys on what the next steps you should do as an expert on leading a 3-way call. Super simple, but very big nuggets that I got from Shallon that I definitely wanted to share with you guys. And she shared it today on the NMD and above, or NMD call. She keeps a journal tracker for 3-way calls. And it's such a simple concept, but it's like genius, because you're doing these 3-way calls for people, and if you write down their name, what date they possibly did this 3-way call, where that prospect was at by the end of the call, and then on the 23rd, what she does with this journal is she goes through all of these BPs and talks to them and says, okay, so whatever happened with, Ashley earlier this month, did you end up closing her? Where are you at with it? And all of that. So that can help you kind of help the BP, because a lot of times they would not even possibly have followed up. And it's a simple little follow-up that they can do to possibly get a new brand partner. But it also shows you who on your team really, or what leg is not doing 3-way calls. And you can kind of funnel that activity and use it towards your benefit to kind of help them get more used to 3-way calls. So I definitely put all of this out on an outline, and I would love it if you guys read it, because I was really eye-opened on this, because 3-way calls, they can be, I think there's a rhythm to it for sure. And I think there can be a ton of success in it. And it's just being familiar and comfortable with how you present it to those prospects to kind of get them to a yes or a no. So I'm trying to think of some other things that she said, like no pressure to close on the spot, but always lead them to a tool. If the guest has tried a product or if if guest has tried a product or you lead them to sampling, make sure they know not to gauge the whole business just on one product. So, you know, a lot of people will even say, well, you know, I tried the night cream, you know, wasn't my favorite. Well, don't forget, we have 12 other products that they could possibly love, and into the wellness products and all of that. So there was just a lot of nuggets that I liked, you know, and I went over this kind of last night on another team call, but there's 4 areas that people are mostly intrigued about this business. And you can't talk to someone and just assume that because you love the fun environment that they're going to love the fun environment. So there's 4 different ways that people are obviously at piqued interest for this business, and it's helping others. So even in regards to your Facebook post, if you're talking about the opportunity, these are 4 different areas that you can kind of hit and pinpoint, so maybe you can attract other people. But people like to help others. So like when we do fundraising events for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, or we do anything in regards to you helping your team, people like that and they resonate to it. Luxury items and money, you know, the free cars, the free vacations, just because you might be really interested in those doesn't mean that everyone is, and they might not relate to it. So, but still include these things. Time freedom. So people are people want financial freedom and time freedom. That's about, you know, that's what people want. So maybe comment on the time. And then the fun environment, just the fun atmosphere, the people that we've met, all of those different ways that you can try to help pique interest. But when you're talking on a 3-way call, don't just focus on, all the luxury items, because that might not even intrigue them. You know, you might want to be like, well, I love helping my team, you know, be able to get those items, you know, the free car if they want it, or, you know, that time freedom that they want. So you want to try to hit on all those different areas in a 3-way call. So I'm not going to go through this whole sheet, but it's definitely worth reading. And even before you do 3-way calls, just to kind of skim it, because there was some good info in it. Sam Wyatt trained on, you know how we're doing Facebook Live parties, and they're awesome. Nothing against Facebook Lives. We're going to still do them as a kind of market party style. I'm going to still do them so everybody can bring people in on that. But Sam touched on what she does with her team. Is if it's launching their business, she does not do a Facebook launch party. She does obviously an in-home party, and she does 2 of those. And then she talks them into going into Zoom live parties. And the reason why is because it feels like you are at an in-home party. You're actually able to talk face-to-face with these people instead of just being a Facebook Live where you can't really get any banter back on what they're doing or anything. And then you can kind of really ask for the sale just like you would do at a Facebook Live, or I'm sorry, at a in-home party. And you can share a screen on Zoom. So like if I wanted to share my computer with you guys, I could straight up share it. And that could be a possibility that you would do just for sharing a video. So it could straight up be just like a in-home party, but on Zoom. You know, there was some back and forth banter between the, you know, leaders of just in regards to, okay, well, you know, do you think that people understand how to get on Zoom? Well, she said the caliber of people that get on Zoom versus getting on Facebook Live, it's a step up in regards to that, and they get it more. They're not opposed to getting on Zoom. What, Kim, can you kind of touch on, am I putting the words in place right?
I really liked that, what Sam was saying. Because if you think about, you know, having an in-home party, you are personally inviting people. So if I'm calling you up and saying, you know, say you and I, for example, you live 3 hours from me, 3.5 hours from me. I'm like, hey, I'm launching my new business. I would love if you could come. It's actually going to be online, but it's going to feel like it's just this, you know, app like, you know, people know what Skype is right off the top. So, but you're inviting them, and then you can tell them how to get on. But she also said that by inviting, you know how Facebook Live, like anybody can just kind of hop on, or you invite like somebody you never even talked to. So it's more people that you would like maybe actually have a better relationship with. And she said also with the 2 home parties and the 2 Zoom live parties, you know how you like have different groups of friends. So like you have your maybe your neighbor friends or your mom friends. Like I have all my mom friends from, you know, Sydney, 3rd grade. I have, you know, my girlfriends from back, you know, before we all got married, just different groups of people, or like my neighbors. So, like you might have like just a small party for people that already know each other in these different groups. And then and things that, you know, at a party, people are learning like what we do as well. So, she said that one of the big things with people is the technology and, you know, our Nerium business. And so getting them on like a Zoom like this for their first exposure, you know, they already have been on one before. So then when you point them to something like this for a training or something like that, they're already familiar with it. I really liked it over the Facebook Live, just a more personal environment, and kind of holds them more accountable than just a silent name on a actual Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked the concept too. And like we have really good friends and family that live local, we also have really good friends and family that live out of town. So these are going to be their launch parties in regards to those people. So, you know, maybe down the line you'll do Facebook Live parties and it'll be more, you know, whatever. And like I said, I'm still going to do market party Facebook Lives. And I definitely think Facebook Lives are awesome. I'm not saying that at all. We've gotten a ton of business from them, but I really like the concept of a Zoom for a launch party. You know what I'm saying? In regards. Okay. So you've noticed that Kim has put out 2 different events. She's leading her second one tomorrow night for brand partners who have Class A prospects. So again, this Class A prospect tracker will be huge when you do get it back. You can lead these brand partners to, you know, Kim or my Zoom to help them close on these brand partners. So obviously this whole month is geared up towards, you know, really taking these Class A prospects and getting them to a yes or a no so we can get these promotions. And so Kim is leading them for brand partners that are not for prospects. She led one last month. She's leading another one tomorrow. I'm going to lead one, I think the week after, or next week. I don't remember. But we're going to pretty much just get on Zooms with brand partners who have Class A prospects, and we're going to go through them. And we're going to say, okay, this would be the next step on what you would do. And so we're going to just lead them. That's just going to be another way for them to learn. So again, if you're talking to anyone that is trying to get ranked up, definitely send them to these, because they will definitely be able to help them just learn. And even if, you know, they're going to learn from other people's situations too. That's what's so great about it. So they might have just one Class A prospect they're going to talk to Kim or myself about, but then they hear, you know, Amy's story or Sabrina's story, and they go, oh, okay, you know, I have something similar to that too. So those are definitely going to help this month, and we're putting those in pretty much, I think, once a week, or, you know, there's 3 or 4 of them. I don't remember what we talked about. And then, Patrick just did one tonight. So it was a Facebook Live Zoom thing. It was crazy. I jumped on. He had like 500 guests, which was awesome. But you're going to see 5,000 moms. 1,000. Okay. I jumped on when there was 500. So I can't hear you, Mom. So anyway, there is, you're going to see a lot of leaders jumping on different ways to kind of, again, lead prospects to these. And these are definitely things that you can talk to your, you know, BPs in regards to whoever wants to run and whoever wants to get these promotions, lead these prospects. But I just wanted to let you know, you will be starting to see a lot more of those too, just in the works. You know, I put out some flyers that someone else, I think Alicia made or something, but, you know, the Party to Promote was a huge focus a couple years ago with Aaron Hall. When they were all running to 5-star, you know, they really took a hold of this Party to Promote concept. And it was, you know, if you're trying to rank up from brand partner to senior brand partner, you have 3 parties yourself. You know, and then if you have team members that you've joined with you, you know, have them have parties, but then getting to director, it's 5 parties a month, and so on and so forth. That concept, it does work. And again, these people that are wanting to run, use that with them. And especially these new brand partners that have no clue. I mean, there are things that are, we have, it's a good thing and a bad thing in a sense that we have so many different things that can help a brand partner be closed or help a brand partner, there's a lot of things that they can use and a lot of tools that we can use. So, don't flood Bravey brand partners with all of this information, but at the same time, I want you guys to know that it's all out there and that if you do have someone that's really ready to run, start them at those launch parties. Obviously, that's going to be the biggest bang for their buck. Start them at this Zoom party if you want to go that direction. That's going to really work because it is that one-on-one, face-to-face conversation that they can have, I guess as live, as much as you can when you're far away. Kim, I wanted to kind of touch on to see if Kim or Marilyn or Nikki, anyone that was at the leadership retreat this weekend, if you guys had anything that you thought that you wanted to share. These were just kind of my nuggets that I wanted to share with everyone. Does anybody else have anything?
Yeah, you did it. You did a great job. I have my notes here, but I jotted down a couple of things. It was a great weekend, and I hope someday that, this group can go somewhere fabulous together and have something similar, maybe with a different background, like a ocean or something. But, okay, so Shallon trained on sit-down blitzes, which I don't know if you've ever been to one or seen NMDs doing them. But it basically, I have an email I can forward to anybody who wants one, just inbox me. But for example, when I went to Charlotte this last time, I created a Sign Up Genius. I knew I was coming to the market, wanted to make the best use of my time while I was there. You can do sit downs where brand partners can bring a guest or Class A prospect to sit down with you in a super casual environment. And like Shallon, of course, being Shallon and her personality, she has everything like spelled out exactly what, you want to bring with you to this. So you can alternate between brand partner game plans and sit downs with prospects. And then at the end of your blitz, have an event to invite to. So if you're bringing on new team members or relighting the fire with existing team members, you have an event to invite them to. But for example, like Stephanie Schooler on here, she's got a growing market an hour from Evansville where we live, so Owensboro, Kentucky. But that might be something, that we could do over there for like a day and do back and forth sit downs, game plans. And then, so any rank can do these sit down blitz. And you don't have to be an NMD. If you can do a sit down, as the expert, or you can do a game plan and you have a team, then you can do these. You can do them in your town where you live, or you can do them in another town or wherever you're visiting. So that was one thing. And again, I can email you the whole document if that's something that you are interested in. Colleen Camiso trained on mindset. She's really taken an interest in it, and she shared a lot with us, and choosing to determine how you're going to react to things, because we always say, like, to climb the ranks here, you have to be able to overcome obstacles. We have to be able to hear no, and working on yourself is just so important, and keeping your mind in the right spot and positive. And the higher ranks that you climb, the more people bring an issue to you or bring a problem to you, or so you gotta pour in more positive than the negative is coming in. And something else she also talked about was, I think this was Colleen, maybe this was Jenny Bird Greer, I'm not sure, but who also zoomed in, but ego depletion. And they talked about how you have like this bucket of willpower. And I really like this. So like every day you start with like this full bucket of willpower. So like, I'm going to start my diet tomorrow, dang it. So I get up, my breakfast is on point, and then like lunch, it's still good. And then like dinner, you just blow it. So like if you're trying to like start working out or something and you hit the gym in the morning. So in the morning, like the things that, we all have those things that we put off or we don't want to do, make a follow-up phone call, or, the things that are on our to-do list. So tackle those hard items in the morning when your bucket is really full, so you can just get those out of the way. So I really like that. It made a lot of sense to me because it's totally true. If I don't get things done in the early part of the day, then I'm like Loserville later on. So I really like that. Let's see, something else that they talked about. Oh, Colleen talked about, plan, and then plan some more. So, and kind of the whole weekend, it was like sharing tips on how do you do all of this that you do? How do you have kids? How do you get pulled a million different directions and still work your own personal business and, drive different things throughout the team. And then, if you don't plan for it, it's probably not going to happen. So even like Shallon was like, oh no, I plan for like house stuff on the 3rd of the month. I've gotten past the 1st of the month, and then, but just anything that you need to get done, just make sure you plan for it. And I know at SD rank and stuff, a lot of people, and I know I went through this, was even just planning for turn off your phone time to be present for your kids or your family, but just making a plan and sticking to it so you're not always in reactive mode and you're actually getting some things done.
Well, yeah, in regards to that, I really liked how Shallon said, like, if you feel like you're going all over the place with your team and you don't really have any kind of consistent direction, and maybe one month you spend a lot of time in one leg and you've totally like abandoned the other leg. What I really liked is, Monday dedicating your time that you work to leg one. And, talk to the leaders in leg one, or talk to, welcome the new brand partners, or whatever the case may be in leg one, alongside with your personal business. And then, Tuesday, focus on leg two and talk, do all that for leg two. I just thought that was, and then so on and so forth for leg three. But I thought that was really good because, I think the higher you go, sometimes even especially you feel like you're pulled in all kinds of directions, and even like you're either putting out fires or you just don't really feel like you have a, consistent handle over your business. And you're really just reacting versus, being proactive and is that the right terminology? Reactive? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. I got confused.
Yeah, be proactive, not reactive.
So and it's true. It's like, for me, so that really resonated with me, and I want to do that more, like definitely organize my days based on my legs and stuff. So go on.
Another like tip piggybacking off of that was like dedicate like one day, because it's not like, I know y'all have full-time jobs and things, but if you have like Tuesday, you have 45 minutes you're going to give to your Nerium business, then say that's the time that we're talking about dividing up between your Nerium business, not your whole dang day. We know. But like for, another day, like she used to talk about follow-up Friday, like kind of work that into your schedule so okay, this is the day I'm going to follow up, or days to give recognition and shout out people for things that they're doing well. She gave the example of someone who has 40 customers but no BPs and thinks that they suck because they don't have any BPs. They're really amazing at getting customers. And a lot of people that come in Nerium, they all think they're not doing good. They have no idea, even the ones that have like 17 customers in a month. They just don't know. So positive reinforcement. Jennifer Gibbons trained on comp plan, which I'm no way going to try to give that back to you here, but really working your business and leading your team, driving the weekly check, driving the new business, and the weekly pay periods. Treat Wednesdays like a close, getting those new brand partners paid as soon as possible with their belief check, and doing activities that drive your check. I know a lot of people really are like all about ranking up, but you can make more money at any rank by driving your weekly check, which later feeds into your monthly check. So you think of your weekly check as like your activity that you're doing, and your monthly check is like your residual. Just kind of like when a new brand partner starts and they wonder why on month 2, month 3, those repeat orders, they're not seeing a bunch of money coming in. It's like their residual check coming, and it's going to take them a while they're going to live in their weekly check, and it's going to take them a while to build up that residual income when they get a bigger customer base. And that's how I describe it. So how you can build, and like working with your personally sponsored brand partners to try to help build up your own paychecks by getting their pay up. What else? Let me see. Oh, they talked about placement suite, never giving away a brand partner. Imagine if someone had given Shallon away. And I know I've given away brand partners in my almost 4 years, and it never came back to bite me yet. But I see why people don't give them away. And, you make your own decisions and stuff. But if you're thinking, well, I just want to get, that one leg done so I can have a senior VP over there and rank up or do whatever, work with someone else to help them go through their contact list to build that up. And then they talked about placement, which there are not any like hard and fast rules on placement, other than just being very selfish in the beginning with placement. Like, don't help out, just a family member or something. Remember, you are treating this as a business. And if you stay committed to it, then one day it will be a gigantic business. So remember to treat it like a business. And you want to, base your placements on either solidifying your rank or getting yourself to the next rank first. And really, that's the biggest thing. So if you're wondering where to put someone, always talk to your upline if you're not at all sure, or just if you just want to talk it out. Because it can really make a huge difference in your organization, your structure, which affects, your income. And, we all love, Nerium, the products, the culture, the company, but we all have got to make an income with this, so you have to think about that first. Marilyn, are you on here? Do you want to, Nikki?
Yeah, the only thing I had was, and I think it's for the next call that we have, it's about how you get a brand partner started. And, Colleen went over the whole thing with Class A prospects and track him. That's where we are now. But she did a really, really good job, I thought. And it's not even all typed out yet, so we need to get it down. Giving people goals of what are you going to do the first 3 days, the first 10 days, the first 2 weeks, 30 days, how you going to recognize them, have 2 face-to-face parties, 2 Zoom parties. She had a lot in there. And it needs to be, I don't think it's for this call, because right now we just need to concentrate on prospects and getting them closed, our list together and closed. But that's something that we really need to dig into on how to get people going once we get all these new brand partners. So there's going to be a ton of them.
Yep. Good point. Okay. So, Nikki, did you have anything before we kind of wrap up? Okay. So one topic that I did want to talk about that I don't want to talk about is the elephant in the room in regards to Mark and Tammy. Some of you guys have heard and some of you haven't, but if you have not, they are leaving the company. They filed a dispute lawsuit. It's been going on for about 18 months. And so obviously nothing has changed in our business the whole time this has been going on. But Mark and Tammy actually wanted the company from Jeff. They asked to buy it. And Jeff and everybody worked very closely with them to make them happy. They made them at the conference last year co-founders, and it just still wasn't good enough. They wanted more of it and they wanted all of it. So anyway, Jeff said no, and that's where the lawsuit comes in. The lawsuit will have a lot of slander in it about Jeff, because that is the only way that they can slander him without being sued. So that, do not be surprised by that. This is a completely different industry than I've ever worked in, and the majority of the people on this call, the majority of the people in our leadership upline has never done direct marketing, which I'm so fortunate that we do have an upline that this is not the norm. So we are completely beside ourselves, but at the same time, I guess this is pretty normal for this industry in direct marketing. People do leave and all of that, but I wanted you guys to just know that all of us and all of, really from Aaron Hall down, we're stronger than ever. This is not going to affect our business. I mean, I did not join this company because of Mark and Tammy. Like, I joined for my family's future, for, my team and all of that. And the people that, brought me in with Shallon. Like, I didn't join. I didn't even know Mark and Tammy. Now I know this will be a shock because they trained a lot of people. And so they, a lot of people feel like they really know them and stuff, but just know that this won't change anything with our company personally, our upline. It doesn't change anything about Nerium. Nerium is still obviously going strong. We're building, this is a brand new business this year, and they keep saying that. We are, I heard from leadership calls and stuff that, for the next 4 months leading up to Vegas, it's going to be big. And I think what happens is that they're just building and rebuilding, and it's going to be a lot of bonuses and incentives for us to grow our business. So we are just in a very blessed, fortunate time with this company, honestly, and we're all very excited. But I did want to let you guys know, just as leaders, what we have talked about, what we know. If you have any other questions offline, please, just message me or one of your upline leaders, NMDs, and just ask them, any questions or thoughts that you might have. But at this time, I'm not going to really open it up for discussion on that because I don't want to talk about it. But I just wanted to let you guys know. And if you want to talk about it offline, we can. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had. Kim, do you have anything else?
Yes, of course. I always have something else. And I'm not too worried about Mark and Tammy, by the way. And I really wasn't even going to talk about it, so I'm glad Paisha did. Because, if you were to hear something or read something, we would want you guys to know about it. But if somebody comes to you, ask about it, and you need help with words or something, reach out to us. But just a few other things. Lately we've kind of talked about, getting back to Fast Start Qualify with brand partners, getting back to the 60-day director bonus, which iPad doesn't really incentivize people like it used to. So $350 cash bonus. And then 3-year free. Retention is key here. You know how when you go into your leader dashboard and you can scroll down, and I think it's business overview, has a little pie chart that tells you where all your volume is coming from, whether it's, BP's ADOs or new BPs or PC ADO reorders. Retention of customers, retention of brand partners is so important. 3-year free is something huge that our organization, from Aaron Hall down, which is above, a couple above Shallon, Elston, Givens, is just something that our organization really ran with, that the company offered. And you see the massive growth that got heads to spin. And it's because of 3-year free. Now, people don't cancel free. And if they took, and you guys might have seen this slide before, but if you have 2 teams and each team has, 10 brand partners, and one team just has their own ADO, no customers, you got $800 GQV. Mm-hmm. The team B with 10 brand partners who are all getting 3-year free, no one's quitting over there, they're all getting 3-year free, instead of 800 GQV, 3,200 GQV. You can see how that is just going to be that volume that keeps, you're not losing brand partners from that. And it's volume that just keeps coming in. And that's something we have a huge advantage of in direct marketing with, a consumable product here, is that ADO, that reorder, you're not climbing that mountain over and over again. So just something so simple as 3-year free can really, help us in the long run.
Yeah, we're going to be driving that with a little incentive towards the end of the month, just to let you guys know, as leaders, masters of the mundane are. So we're, at the end of the month, going to really hopefully drive that final 3-year free push to get that volume up. And that hopefully will help a lot of people, rank up that last week. That'll just be another driver that we can use. So cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you got a lot out of it. I know it was a packed call. That's why I was like, okay, we have a lot to talk about. But hopefully you guys got a lot out of it, and just run with those baby brand partners, run with those people that want this promotion, and let us know if we can help. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.